And we are live. I am Adam. This is Highly Articulated. Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers out there, whether you are the father to a child or an animal, or you don't know you're a father. Congratulations. You should be celebrated. It is. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. If you're watching and you have a father, or you know somebody who's a collector, let me know if you got them. Let me know if you got them something special for Father's Day, whether it was toy related or otherwise. I'm curious to hear. Now, if you've absolutely waited to the last minute and didn't get anything, eCollectables does do gift cards. So if you need that last minute gift, hit up eCollectables.ca for a gift card for the collector in your life. You can pick up some G.I. Joe, some Mythic Legion, some Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I've been told that the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Wave 3 pre-order should go up on the site very, very soon. I did notice that the new Fury toys, I guess they're not technically Ninja Turtles, but the new Fury toys Autumn Samurai Force figure, as well as the Master, which are, let's be honest, Splinter and Donatello, are up there, as well as the supplementary parts, which is pretty cool. New G.I. Joe stuff is all up there, as well as new NECA stuff. Fury Planet, not to be confused with Fury, but Fury also has the Jiangming Rabbit Man from the Maestro Union collection. So this is the same collection that has a few other sort of beastly figures, and they are pretty awesome. So as I said, go grab one of those eCollectables gift cards for somebody special today. In other news, as I mentioned, Spiro Toys Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Wave 3 should be up on eCollectables.ca very, very soon. But in the meantime, Wave 2 has arrived at the warehouse. They have unloaded the truck. They have started packing orders. They've packed a couple hundred orders already. So if you kind of compare that to the speed at which they were doing orders with Wave 1, Jason was doing between 30 and 50 orders per day. And they're already banging out hundreds of orders. So the speed at which these orders should get out is much, much faster this time around. So I think the wait times for all those people that were still, international orders still waiting on their Kickstarter figures, all the people that were waiting on Wave 2 heavy orders, as well as anybody that's, got their Wave 1 stuff and just waiting on the Wave 2 stuff. That should be in soon. Wave 3 is up for pre-order on the Spiro Toys website as well. Get your orders in now. The Wave 3 is, of course, more of an army builder wave, as it is sort of tied to the tabletop game. But go and get your orders in for those. They're going to be here sooner than we think. I don't think it's really any secret that there's no new tooling for Wave 3. So basically, with Wave 2 here, they've moved into production for Wave 3. It's in production. It's going to be here. I've heard that it may be here sort of end of summer. So, I mean, we're already mid-June. We could see this. And this I don't know. I haven't sort of heard anything specific, but every time I sort of hear about it, I'm hearing that we will get Wave 3, and that Wave 4 won't be that far behind it. We should get Wave 4 in time for the end of the year. So Wave 3, they've said, will be available for purchase at PowerCon, which is in August. So, I think that, that's great for us, even if we're not going to PowerCon. That PowerCon exclusive's coming too. So I guess, they've got to get something. They got to get something shipped in time for that. So it sounds very, very much like we will be getting Wave 3, hot on the tails of Wave 2 there. So that's pretty exciting news as well. I will jump into the chat and see what's going on, and then I will get back into some other news. Ted Darklaw said, I'll be listening in the background while playing Little Big Planet with the kid. Have a great show. Thanks, Ted. For anybody that's not aware, if you're watching this and you're sort of not aware of Ted and Aaron do their show, the Hella Dope, on their Hella Dope Toys channel, and Brick and I will be on there tonight. So if you don't get enough of me right now, come back in a few hours and check that out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Figuratively speaking, says, I'll be watching as soon as I get back, getting some food for the family. Payne's Toy Sample says, hey, fellas, happy Father's Day to all. Jeremy is here. What the frickin' frick is going on in here? We're talking toys, my friend. And Jeremy has got some big news over the weekend. I can't wait for the news of his news to get out, because it's pretty exciting stuff. So big congratulations to Jeremy. Scott Baker is here on time, which is great. I'm glad to have you here, Scott. Good to have you hanging out. Says, afternoon all. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And if you're not a dad, you know what? Don't feel bad. It's not for everybody, and maybe one day, or maybe never. I mean, do your thing. All right, so Spiro Toys, as I said, Wave 3 is coming. In other news, as far as like stuff that's coming, and this is something that I absolutely love, but I don't know how many people share my love for these figures. SH Figuarts has just released the Yamcha, Earth's foremost fighter. Unfortunately, it's P Bandai, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get this figure. But I'm really excited to get a Yamcha figure for my collection. To kind of get into the Dragon Ball Z fighters. He's definitely needed. How do I make this big? There we go. That's what I wanted. I don't want cookie settings. There we go. So Yamcha, a pretty basic figure, but a figure that I need nonetheless. Yamcha is an important character, even if he just ends up, getting killed all the time. They kind of did him dirty a little bit too, because the accessory that he comes with is basically him getting killed again. So this accessory is pretty cool. So it's got, the android's hand going through his chest basically, which is a really, really cool accessory. But kind of sad that that's the accessory that you get with Yamcha, right? It's the means to his ends. In other SH Figuarts news, they've released their San Diego Comic-Con exclusives now. One of these I am very, very excited about. And I think a lot of people would know which one it is if you sort of watched my show before. I am a huge fan of translucent figures, so I can't wait to get this one. So this is the Super Saiyan Gohan, which is just sort of a badass looking figure. But with that, you get sort of his final Kamehameha with the spirit of Goku helping him out, and so you basically get two figures in the box, and one is a translucent Goku. So now I got to figure out if I know anybody that's going to San Diego Comic-Con that can pick up an SH Figuarts figure and isn't a Dragon Ball fan, so they won't want this for themselves. But I think this is a pretty cool figure. Just being that it's a translucent figure, plus you get a Kamehameha effects piece there as well, and those are pretty cool pieces. I've got one of those with the Goku from Dragon Ball GT, but just a really cool figure. The translucent figure is really the draw for me there, if I'm being perfectly honest. That sort of battle damaged Gohan is cool, and I don't have that, that version of Gohan, so I'm happy to get it. But the translucent figure is really the big draw, at least for me. You've got a Gohan kid figure coming with this Raditz. This looks to be like a static figure that comes with a kind of a re-release of Raditz. I'm sure that'll be popular. Not really my thing. The Majin Vegeta as well uses the same sort of effects parts that we saw with the Goku that came out last year. Again, not a figure that I really need, but a cool one nonetheless. I, for one, really like the translucent hair pieces that they do. I think they're a little bit more fun, and they kind of portray the energy of the Super Saiyan form a little bit better than the solid ones. But I know there's a lot of people that prefer the solid ones. I think the translucent ones and sort of the metallic ones and things like that are just a little bit more fun. There's just a little bit more going on there, and I like it. And then they've also got a Figuarts Zero statue of Super Saiyan Gogeta, which again, I don't really go for the statues, so I will easily pass on that. But like I said, I got to figure out how I could get one of these because this guy looks awesome. And like I said, not that I need this version of Gohan, but I definitely need the translucent Goku that he comes with. So just a cool I just love translucent figures. So I'm sure there will be a way that I can get that figure. I'm not too worried about it at all. Jeremy, never command your own Dragon Balls. Ray Paz is here. What's going on, Ray? Happy Father's Day, fellas. Happy Father's Day to you as well, Ray. Good to have you here. The last thing, this is going to be a quick video because it's Father's Day. I'm doing another video later, so I'm just sort of briefly going into the news for a few things that I'm interested in. I don't have any pickups. I don't have a co-host, so I'm just sort of banging out a quick episode here. But the last thing that I wanted to talk about is, of course, arguably kind of the biggest thing kind of going on right now as far as G.I. Joe stuff goes, for sure. But one of the more exciting sort of news-worthy toy-related things, the Dragonfly. So the Dragonfly hit the 13,000 mark, which unlocked the Night Force Ripcord. So now, anybody that backs the Dragonfly is going to get the Dragonfly plus Wild Bill plus all the loadout plus the Night Force Ripcord. So that's super cool. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really excited to get this. I'm really excited to get my Hiss Tank too. And all the excitement, I think people have sort of it's that meme of like the guy would be walking with his Hiss Tank and now he's looking over his shoulder at the Dragonfly in a way. I think that Hiss Tank is going to be awesome, and I think it's coming up on us pretty quick. It's supposed to be fall, so I haven't heard any sort of any actual dates yet, but fall's coming up pretty quick. So I'm scrolling down to the unlockables. So here we have, of course, that Night Force Ripcord, and then we get Glenda. So this is sort of the big news. I'm going to open this in another tab so that we can look at this a little bit clearer, a little bit better. So there she is, Jane Glenda Mulligan. She is a helicopter pilot. I can't think of a more suitable release for an unlock goal. Personally, I absolutely do not understand the pushback on this as a an unlock stretch goal tier figure. To me, she sort of checks all the boxes. Appropriate for the HasLab, uh deep dive, so that there's not a mainline character behind a paywall. uh like a repaint of another figure, so that basically means that we're almost guaranteed a vintage Scarlet in her sort of version 1 deco. um and the loadout is really, really great. So, not only do you get sort of the basic figure that, we would with Scarlet, but she's got the sort of the web gear, the pistol, the laser, which looks very much like Flash's weapon. So again, that might be alluding to the fact that we are going to get a Flash figure sooner rather than later. And then it also comes with this harness. So it was sort of quickly glossed over, and they didn't really say too much about it. But basically, they've said that this is sort of a universal fitting harness, so it will work with multiple different figures. It's got this ring on the front that will clip onto the winch, the hooked winch on the Dragonfly. So you'll be able to effectively, evac a classified figure with that harness, which I think is really, really cool. Um, and yeah, like I said, um, I think this is a great unlock. I think that this is what unlocks should be. They should be figures that, we might not get in the main line otherwise. They are effectively reuse. So, we're not going to get a brand new tooled figure head to toe. I know that there was a lot of people that sort of hoped that we would get, Doc or Airborne. Those were the two figures that everybody was kind of saying we should get. But I totally understand why we didn't. Doc and Airborne should be mainline figures without a doubt, and I think there would be a lot of people that would be upset with them being unlocked tiers, effectively pricing people out of the opportunity to buy those figures. The argument that people make is that Airborne was on the vintage box, and therefore, by default, he should be an unlock here. But I think at the very most, we would have gotten a repaint, or I guess in that case, a pre-paint of Airborne, whether it had been, a Tiger Force Airborne or a Night Force Airborne. We still have one unlock goal to go, so who knows? Maybe we will get, an alternate deco of Airborne, but I'm not really holding my breath as far as that goes. I had initially thought that this unlock, the one that is Glenda, I thought might be Carla Doc Greer, like Doc's niece, who became Doc later on. I thought that would have been an appropriate sort of tier for you get a Doc figure, but it's not the Doc figure kind of thing. It's a little bit more of a deep cut. But like I said, I'm very happy with this one. This one did surprise me a little bit, although it's totally appropriate that we would get a helicopter pilot with a helicopter. And it seems to be mirroring the GI Joe Sky Striker HasLab with Night Force Ripcord. We got the pilot deco Scarlet, but in this quick case, we kind of get that because, like I said, she was a reuse of the Scarlet mold in the Argentinian GI Joe line. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a very, very appropriate choice. And it's a great looking figure, and she's gonna look great on my shelf. I'm really, really looking forward to when this unlocks. Just very quickly looking at this. This is from Geek Dad Life's website. This is Brian Brink's chart of how the HasLab is tracking. So we see, this red line here. It's just chugging away. Day over day, we're seeing an increase, which is good. It's increasing better than the Sky Striker did. If we kind of look at the average, the first week for the his tank saw that first big spike, and then there was a little bit of spike right at the end of the week because there was the unlock goal for the first week, and people were kind of worried that they had to like back in the first week to get the unlock, which is why there's sort of another little bit like it kind of goes up and then levels off and then goes up and then levels off again. But if we're looking at sort of the progression sort of after that first week, I think we're seeing a pretty similar kind of growth in terms of the numbers with the Dragonfly that we did with the his tank. And then if you look at the end, right, like if you look at if you just look at the last couple days, both the Sky Striker and the his tank had a really, really good uptick, in the last 4 or 5 days, with the last day seeing a big jump, a bigger jump for the Sky Striker than for the his tank. But I could certainly see there being a similar jump with the Dragonfly, because I know for a fact that there are people that are kind of waiting for the last day or the last couple days to back it, and for better or worse. I mean, it's weird to me because I just can't help but think that maybe they don't quite understand how this works, because you don't get charged until the last day, regardless of when it funds, regardless of when you back it, so on and so forth. The last day for the campaign is in July, so there's still plenty of time. What's the last day? I want to say the 17th, July 17th. So the last day is July 17th. It says, if I look right here, it says right here on the thing, your card will be charged on July 18th. So regardless of when you back it, or for how many you back it, that's when it's going to charge. But I think there's people that think, if I back it today, it gets charged today. So I think they're holding out to see what the tiers are. To me, it's sort of like, if you're going to back it, why not just back it and get the numbers up and sort of get there. But whatever, to each their own. Do your thing and collect how you want and collect what you love, right? Let's see here. What are people saying in the comments? Payne says, happy about Glenda. Need Master Sergeant Culburn now. Yeah, that's I've seen a lot of people saying that the next unlocked tier could be the sort of name, the other name on the side of the Dragonfly. And that would be cool, and that would be in line again. That would mirror what they did with the Sky Striker with Wayne Ruthel, right? So I could certainly see that being one. Ray Paz says, I'm pretty sure that the last tier of unlocked figure is a Hawk. Someone figured it out, which makes sense since the last unlock for the Hiss was Cobra Commander. I'm certainly leaning that way as well. I'm always optimistic, and I just said, I would love to see everybody sort of back this thing and get those numbers up right away. There's also a part of me that would love to see the numbers completely like flatline, and I would love to see Hasbro kind of pull an audible and be like, we're adding an extra tier, or if we can hit this intermediate goal, we'll unlock this thing. They did the Cobra takeover thing with the Sky Striker, which, whether it worked or not, I don't know. I'd already backed my Sky Striker, and I've already backed my Dragonfly. So, does it work? I don't know. Do I want them to add a little bit more? Of course, because like I said, the base offering I think is fantastic, but the more stuff that I can get essentially as a freebie at this point, the better. So I could see there being a little bit more. I was saying that they've said that there's figures for the unlocks, but they didn't say that that's all we'll get. And I don't know if we're going to see that harness that comes with Glenda, in the box with the figure, or whether that will be sort of a separate thing. When we saw the female Hiss tank gunner, she came in an unlock with some more accessories for the Hiss tank. So I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that they sort of have a little bit of room within those unlock goals and within the stretch goals there to add a couple more accessories, whether it's for the Dragonfly, whether it's a stretcher. I think a lot of people want a dock because then we could have got a stretcher that would go with the Dragonfly itself. I would still like to see a stretcher because it would be cool. Because that hook, as cool as that will lock onto that harness, I would love to see more stuff, right? It's kind of along the same lines of people wanting to have seen something for the Hiss tank to tow, which I think we'll still get. I think we'll get it, in the line at some point anyway. There was enough GI Joe towable things in the vintage line that I think it's only a matter of time before we see something like the MMS, or the one of the other sets. Ray says, I just wish Hasbro would unlock it to get people going again. Well, I mean yeah, I mean, I see that, but they unlocked Glenda, and it, again, if we look, if we look back at the chart, right? Always back to the chart. Numbers don't lie. Glenda was announced right here, and there was a little bit, if we really kind of look closely, of sort of the trajectory of the numbers there, right? It was moving along. It was moving along, and then Glenda got announced. Well, Ripcord got unlocked, and Glenda got announced, and it kind of went up a little bit for a couple days. Not crazy, and then kind of went back to what looks to be sort of similar numbers to what it was doing in the days right before. If Glenda gets unlocked and they announce the next stretch goal, are we going to see it spike? Are we going to see a really major increase? Or realistically, is this just the path that these things take, right? There's just this steady growth that we sort of see that ticks over until we get to that last week. I think consistently what we've seen from HasLabs is this, right? The steady day over day sort of increases, a couple hundred more, per day as we go. Or whatever it is. I don't know how many it is. I didn't actually do the math. I'm just that was a number that came into my head. I don't know how many it is per day. But I think if we get anywhere close, and we know what the next unlock goal is, right? It's 19,000. And on the chart here, we're looking at, Glenda, we're 2,396 away from unlocking. 53 or 5,396 from unlocking stretch goal 3. When we look at the final days for these, each one of these boxes, I think, each one of these boxes represents about 1,000. And the Hiss tank on the last day did about just under 6. The Sky Striker on the last day did like almost 10. So, we're well within the range of getting those. Will they unlock, before that final uptick? Who knows? That's not, that's not something that I can answer. I would love to see the third stretch goal hit, next week. But is that reasonable? I don't think so. I just genuinely don't think it's going to happen. And like I said, I don't know, as you're, getting back to the comment there, Ray, I don't know that showing the next unlock would really make that much difference. I really don't. I genuinely believe that people kind of, a lot of people back day one. You might see a little bit of an uptick, in the tens, like not even in the hundreds if they unlocked or if they sort of revealed the next one. I think what you see with these campaigns is a big spike at the beginning, a steady trajectory through the middle, and then another big spike right at the end. So I think I think we just have to wait it out anxiously. At least it's funded, right? Like that's the big thing. The fact that it got to the 10,000 is really um, the big goal, right? Once it's there, we're locked in. We're getting the dragonfly. We don't really need to worry. As I said, all these stretch goals for anybody that's already backed it, this is icing on the cake. This is extra gravy. This is to me the dragonfly is worth the asking price at the base level. I know that not everybody agrees with that. Night Force Ripcord. Ripcord was one of my absolute favorite figures as a kid, and I'm really excited to get the mainline one as well. But this Night Force one, at the very least, will make a great sort of additional Halo jumper if and when, I should just say when, we get the Ripcord in the mainline. I will be happy to just kind of pop a new head onto this figure and have another Halo jumper. So Payne's Toy Samples, Scarlet and Flash teased with her too. Absolutely. Both figures that I'm looking forward to. And I love that we're sort of getting closer to having the original 13. Now, when we sort of look at Hawk, right? We don't know which version of Hawk that we would potentially get. My genuine hope, and I think that this makes the most sense in when we kind of like Ray said there, and I read it before, but I'm going to repeat it because it'll make sense why I'm repeating. I'm pretty sure the last tier of unlocked figure is a Hawk. Someone figured it out, which makes sense since the last unlock for the Hiss was Cobra Commander. And I will say that the Cobra Commander unlock is a retro carded figure. I think it's entirely within sort of the realm of what I'm saying about this sort of mirroring the Sky Striker a little bit, that we could see a retro carded Hawk. And if we do, I would bet, so my money, if we get Hawk, is that it will be a retro carded Hawk, and it'll be version 1 Hawk. It'll be like the green suit Hawk. So that will be another one of those original figures checked off on the list. I think we'll get Hawk version 2 as well. I think version 2 is the most likely because it's sort of the most iconic version of Hawk. I think he'll be a mainline figure. So this makes sense that we would get a retro carded version 1 Hawk, or version 1.5 if you want, because he will have swivel arms. But that's where my money would be. If I was a betting man, I would be placing money on a version 1 retro carded Hawk, for either that third goal or for like another one, like if they do an additional one. Let's see. And everybody's here now. Ted's joined us, figuratively speaking, has joined us. And the party goes on. Star's here as well. Says just got home. Ray Paz. It's speculation. I get it. That's all I had for news. So now we can just sort of get into comments, questions, whatever you guys want to talk about. We'll hang out until I get bored or I get a knock on the door or something like that. Oh, by the way, people, AWOK second wave arrived and stuff should be shipping. Absolutely. I mentioned that right off the top. I spoke to someone on Instagram. They also posted the delivery of wave 2 figures. Delivery to Jason, that is. Yes. Jason got delivery of the figures on Friday. He had his crew ready. They unloaded the truck. and packed they packed 100 orders that day, like on that. I think that was Friday. Um, they've been working all weekend and just banging out orders. Um, and I've seen the stacks, and I know how many hours Jason's been working. They worked all day Friday. They worked all day Saturday. Jason was working a bit today. And then doing, Father's Day dinner with his family. But yeah. Ray says, I'm about to order mine tomorrow. What are you waiting for? You mean you're ordering your wave 3? Because you should have ordered your wave 2 already. They're going to be phenomenal figures. I have the pre-production Core Dune, and I'll be honest, the pictures of Core Dune, I wasn't super sold. But getting it in hand, the sculpt is phenomenal. Like it looked simple to me in the pictures, but in hand, the sculpting on that head is awesome. The accessories that it comes with, the new armor pieces, like the pauldrons with the straps, are awesome. They're sculpted and molded so well that they just fit really nice and snug on the shoulders. So I'm very, very excited to be getting those Wave 2 figures. I can't wait. Ray says, I don't have that kind of cash flow. How to do one wave at a time. Remember, I'm new fan to the AWOK line. Well, fair enough. Yeah, that's very true. A lot of us kind of got, a lot of us sort of had our orders in with the Kickstarter and the backer kit and stuff like that. So, 16 Shooter says, wait, which pictures? I didn't say anything about pictures. Did I? Did I say something about pictures? I've seen pictures that Jason posted about the boxes. But what Trevor is alluding to here, Trevor's done the promo shots for these figures, and they look awesome. Brick and I actually recorded another episode of AWOK Talk to be aired pretty soon, and we were talking about those shots, actually, Trevor, and just absolutely gushing over how great those figures look. Vero Atlas in particular, absolutely looks great. His sort of crystal spear being backlit so that the crystal is like illuminated. Oh, it just looks so good. Hit up 16 Shooter's Instagram if you want to see those pictures now. They're really, really good shots, and they make those figures look amazing. Starks is really loving the articulation on these AWOKs. Absolutely, man. They're a ton of fun. I mean, I happen to have one on my desk. I'll show you. They're so much fun. This was what I was doing. I've got Pale hanging out in a pool floaty with a lime Fanta there in his swim trunks. He was just having a great time yesterday in the pool. So yeah, they're great figures. They're tons of fun to play around with, and yeah, the Wave 1 figures are fantastic. The Wave 2 figures are adding more parts. Wave 3 is adding even more figures, and Wave 2 we get the Primal Ancients as well. So and don't sleep on those because they seem really, really basic. But with Wave 3 we're going to get the armor packs too. So grab a couple weapons packs from Wave 1. Grab a couple of those Primal Ancients. You're going to get the armor pack soon enough, so there's going to be a lot of kit bashing and pop and swaps. That's one of the things that I'm looking forward to the most. Building up my Chunari army, as well as my horrid mob. I'm really, really looking forward to those. Star says Wave 1 is available right now. Is that correct? It is absolutely correct. Wave 1 is available right now from Spiro Toys. If you are in Canada, eCollectables.ca has them in stock now, available to ship. So hit them up. If you don't want to go through Spiro, that's cool too. Hit up Helidope Toys. I know that they've got their inventory as well. They're a great company. And I'll be totally honest with you. If you want your figures from Wave 1 figures right now, and you want to get them ASAP, Spiro is not going to be the way to do that because they are absolutely bombarded with all the orders that they have to get through. Hit up Helidope Toys. If you place your order today, they will pull it and pack it and ship it tomorrow. So you will get them really, really soon. Right, Ted? What else have we got? What else have we got? Let's see. Ray says, I read issue 1 and I'm currently on 2. AWOK art is sick and the story is good. It has tremendous potential. Would love to see it be an animated or even a series. I think that's what Jason would love too. And man, I would love that as well. Like a Netflix or an Amazon Prime, even just 8-episode kind of mini series or whatever. I would take it. I would love that. Absolutely. Star says, I've already got space cleared for the Void. I hope you cleared enough space. I think that's going to be a big figure when they get around to that one. Scott Baker, can't wait for those Ancients ordered ahead from Noble Bear today. Oh, nice. Ostradamus Toys is here. What's going on, Oz? Happy Father's Day. Ted says, thank you, Adam. Thank you, man. Everything I hear about you guys is good. So let's max them out. Let's see if we can make it hard for them to follow up on those promises of shipping, that day or next day. Wave 1 is slim pickings, but still good figures available. I mean, like I'm saying, get your orders in now. I've been saying this. I've literally been saying this for months, and you guys all know this. Don't sleep on this line. Get what you can. I understand, not everybody can sort of just drop everything and sort of invest in a whole line. But get what you can from Wave 1 now. Get your orders in for Wave 2. Wave 3, I think you still got a little bit of time, and I suspect that Wave 3 and sort of going forward, we'll see a little bit bigger numbers because I think it's gonna start to grow. But the last thing you want is to be paying a late tax on these figures. So, as I said, get the Wave 1 figures. Get a Vero Atlas if you can, because they're never going to be made again. And there's some quantities left now, but that's not going to last forever. So if you can get a Vero Atlas, I would strongly recommend that you do that. Not only is he a super badass figure, but he was the Kickstarter exclusive. So the only quantities that are available of Vero Atlas will be what was left of the minimum order quantity for the factory, and they will not be made again. The Primal Ancients, to the best of my knowledge, are in that category as well. There will not be sort of an infinite amount of the Primal Ancients, so get them sooner rather than later. That's your public service announcement from me. Now, if you miss them in a couple months, we're talking about these again, and you go, I should have got a Vero Atlas. You can't put that on me. You cannot put that on me. I've been saying, go order Vero Atlas. Moonshine Mel, where did you get those soft goods for Pale? Well, I would... these soft goods, these shorts that I have on Pale are way too big for him. They were just for fun for a picture. This is like a pair of Ken's shorts from Barbie. They're way too big, but they're way too fun not to put on there. They're like fake 90s denim. They were from like my wife's childhood Barbie doll collection. So they're like, they look terrible. Like it's that really bad kind of acid washed denim kind of look. But they were perfect. So that's what he's got on there. Gotta smatch up all the... I can only assume, Oz, that you mean snatch up all the AWOK. Nolan said, I've got Vero on pre-order. Smart man. Rick says, who's your daddy? In his native language. I'm not even going to try to read it. If it's phonetic, I could probably do it, but I'm not going to get any of the inflection correct, so I'm not going to bother. It would be a disrespect to attempt. Ray says, I got mine and hope it's okay to mention it. Thanks to a Punk with Toys review. He liked them and gave them a good review, which made me try them. Awesome. I'm every time I see a review for the AWOK figures, I try to watch the video. I try to like the video. I try to like the video. I like the video, even if it's not a great video. I've been like subscribing to any channel that is doing any AWOK related content and trying to leave as many comments as I can and just sort of get people vibing on AWOK because I'm just absolutely obsessed with them, absolutely in love with the line. So, I'm also saying this is the best toy line, both creatively and in the quality of the plastics used. They have struck, in my mind, they've struck an absolutely perfect balance of, but it's also the hard part, right? When you're dealing with an original IP where nostalgia isn't driving the sales. I think there's a lot of people that are just sort of waiting, right? They're hearing about the figures. People are starting to talk about them. We're still, I hate to say it, but we're kind of still in the early adopter phase of this line. Some of us have gone all in. Some of us have gone a little too hard. We're going a little overboard. And others are a little bit more timid, a little bit more tentative. And I get that, the budgets are already stretched pretty thin. Not a lot of people necessarily have room in the budget to pick them up. I was admittedly probably buying some figures in some lines that don't interest me as much as, justified what I was buying. But basically, cutting out Marvel Legends, cutting out Black Series, was more or less enough to sort of do AWOK. And thankfully, I wasn't buying a ton of either of those lines. But another one that I was buying for the last few years was like the Transformers, all the Netflix series stuff. And I'm not a Transformers guy. I can't even name all the Transformers that I bought. Like if you showed me a picture of half of them, I'd be like, I remember him, and he's the guy that turns into this car, but I don't even know his name. Thankfully, some of the Transformers guys aren't watching today to absolutely put me on blast for that one. But it's Snatch Up. For some reason, Smatch Up is now a word in my auto dictionary, and I don't know why. I get that all the time, man. Autocorrect is one of those things that people that go just rush and like type really fast. I look back at I try to sort of take my time and look back at my comments, and I'm often surprised what words kind of sneak in there. Star says, can't wait for the next live AWOK lore talk. My head's about to explode with lore thoughts. Star, feel free to comment on the videos, whether it's the AWOK talk video or the monkey business video. Get your comments in there as well, because they may become talking points for us, in the next video. That can kind of kickstart conversations sometimes. So, write them down, whether it's on paper or in a comment or whatever, because we're happy to hear what you guys want to talk about and what you're thinking. We're not experts. I mean, we're just doing this for fun, and we're just sort of going through the same way that anybody else is. We just might be a little more obsessive than some people are. Or reach out to us. I mean, we're both pretty accessible guys. So Jeff says, good afternoon. What's going on, Jeff? Yeah, Brick says in the comments there, I'm so curious to know what's on your mind, Star. As far as dates go, I think, let me check my schedule, which I actually have to have because I have way too much stuff going on in the next few weeks. So the next AWOK Talk lore video on Brick's channel should be out next week on the 25th of June. Stay tuned. To be determined. It's not 100%. Editing that thing takes a while. The next monkey business is scheduled for July 9th. So we're still a few weeks away from the next live one. That being said, we almost always talk about AWOK on the show anyway. So it does creep in a little bit every week. We just typically don't get too deep with it. So Oz says that pail is about to hit the half pipe, and I am all for it. You know what? that's the next step. I gotta find a little skateboard, hopefully with a little peg hole in the bottom so his foot can stick on it. I got a couple tech decks, but I mean, they'll work. They're just a little bit underscale. Star says, I'm not sure that one show will be enough. They're just so good. Moonshine Mel says, you and I are twins when it comes to this line and how we feel about this line. Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun, man. And it's just like, I've been saying about the comic book that as a comic book reader, this is a comic book that I don't feel I'm buying as a result of the toy line. Like I love the comic book, and the comic has actually made me buy more toys. You know, it's not a case of, you know, the comic book is trying to sort of interest people. There were figures in the line that I didn't absolutely love until I read the book. It might surprise people to hear this, but Atreyu was like not, he was like at the bottom for wave one figures for me. But then once we got issue 2 of the comic book, I was like, I need that line. Pale was looking like a member of the Rock of Fire Explosion from Show Me His Pizza Place. I took his sunglasses off. He had sunglasses on too when I was taking pictures of him. So the pictures didn't turn out very well. I was gonna post it today from Father's Day, but I didn't because it didn't work out as well as I had. I had like 5 minutes to do it. I knew what I wanted to do, but I just didn't get around to getting a good shot. And it was way too sunny outside, so there's way too much shadow, and the contrast is terrible, and on and on and on. I am not a professional photographer. Star says, I used to be a Transformers fanboy. Cosmic Legion's done sank that ship a while ago. Fair enough. Fair enough. Absolutely. It's funny, right? Like that's how it happens, right? Our interests ebb and flow. You know, the Transformers stuff, like the Earthrise figures specifically, they looked so G1 inspired, but they were like way better and they pose way better. And I got Optimus and Megatron because they just look so good. They're kind of, to me, you know, without getting into like masterpiece Transformers or whatever, they were just such a good robot mode and such a good vehicle mode. And I'm happy to sort of be done with Transformers. I won't get rid of them because they're great. There's actually like 2 figures that I still want, but they were both in those Amazon packs, and they were both sold out. I could never get them. Or no, one was like a Target exclusive, which means I didn't get it because I'm in Canada and we don't have Target, and one was in an Amazon pack, and so I just never. I thought they'd release another version of it, and they never did. But anyway, who cares? You guys don't. That's a me problem, not a you problem. Anyways, Rape has weird question you may or may not know. Will the comics be coming out with the waves? I think he should keep going with the story, just my opinion. The comic book is not ending. The comic book is not it's not one story arc and that's it. The comic book, so Jason is a comic book creator. That's his kind of background. He's done a couple different comic books, a couple different graphic novels. There's sort of a previous version of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom it's in a graphic novel that you can order on spirotoys.com right now. And I strongly recommend it. It's a really great sort of introduction. The art is different. Jason did the art for that one, whereas Utama is doing the art for this version. But there's a lot of familiar characters. There's a lot of unfamiliar characters that may become familiar sort of later on. The story is a little bit different, but you can definitely see where I think some of the things that didn't quite work in the original graphic novel have been improved and look like better. And story-wise, like they've made, you know, some of the origin stories better and stuff like that. Anyway, well worth checking out. But, you know, that's sort of the long-winded way of me saying there will be more comic books. They've mapped out the next couple story arcs. It's just that you know, Jason gets really, really busy with the figures, right? With the business of the toy line. Otherwise, I think he'd be putting out the comic books faster than he is now. So stay tuned. I've heard. Okay, here's the thing. I chat with Jason way too much, and Jason, bless his soul, is just like the most generous, gentle, caring person. But he also overshares. I've heard basically the next 2 story arcs. I've seen a whole bunch of species and figures that they're working on. There's so much good stuff coming. You guys don't have to worry about it. If you love the comics, don't worry about it. There's more good stuff coming. If you love the line, but maybe they haven't done the species that you want, don't worry about it. The species is coming. Name a species. It's probably coming. Well, not every species. Maybe not the spider-nosed mole, but maybe. Oz says maybe a Mono Gecko board. Yeah, but that one's got all the weird stuff on the back. Unless there's a Mono Gecko board that I don't know about. Maybe there's just a more simple version. But Nolan said the figures are what got me wanting the comics. Go get them, man. $2 for the PDF. They're well worth it. Ted, gotta do dinner. Catch y'all soon. Yeah, literally, Ted. I'll catch you in a few hours. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, but there's way more people watching now. I will be over on the Hella Dope Toys channel doing a video with them tonight. Brick and I were going to be talking AWOK. It's a surprise. Brick and I are going to be talking AWOK over on the Hella Dope Toys show. Star says, seriously enjoying the artwork of the comic. Brings back art vibes of my beloved The Alien Legion comics from way back in the 80s. That's awesome, man. There's so many callbacks. There's so many cool callbacks in the IP. Brick and I kind of nerd out on that stuff too. Check out the lore videos for sure, because we go pretty deep when it comes to that stuff too. Ray says, I want this comment. Come on, there it is. Ray says it does have a feeling of that, but I'd say I like the art more in this book. I love this art. Utama's art is fantastic. Utama has an Instagram account with just tons of art, and so I've reached out to Utama to sort of set up a video. So stay tuned for that. I mean, we'll probably do a video with Utama as well, just because he's a big part of AWOK at this point. The designs for the figures basically come from Utama's art as well. So Brick says, yeah, the comics are creatively in top form. As we've been breaking them down on AWOK Talk, it's become clear to me how great the visual storytelling is. Yeah. Bernie Lomax, what are we talking about? We're talking about AWOK, as we almost always end up talking about. Brick says, I just went back to Alien Legion because of Dom from Toy Domination's recommendations. Did you talk to him about it? Let's see what else we got. Star, I agree with that. It feels very fresh, especially in today's market. Yeah, agreed. The book, so the book that artistically it reminds me of the most is a small book that Image did called Isola, Isola. They basically did they're kind of calling them chapters. So basically the whole series that they put out is like 10 issues at this, 10 or 12, 2 trade paperbacks, well worth checking out. Great art. It's got sort of the same vibe of like fantasy with some science fiction elements where you can't quite place the time and stuff like that. But Bernie Lomax, Dung Beetle, maybe if they start doing bugs. Star says, I was reading I guess Alien Legions back during its initial run. I fell in love with it immediately. Been singing its praises ever since. Cosmic Legions just bowled me over with the same vibe. Can't wait. In Cosmic Legions, I think Wave 1 of Cosmic Legions might be on the water, so that stuff will be here very, very soon as well. Brick's gonna go hang out with his kids for a couple hours. I'm gonna do that very quickly here as well. Yeah, we are on the Hella Dope Toys channel, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are having fun chatting with us now, and you can, come check that show out. in a few hours. Is he Euro? Some of it gives me Euro comic style storytelling. No, Jason is from Louisiana. He's writing the book. Utama is just doing the art. So, and I don't know where Utama is, but I will ask him. He is not in North America. I do know that. Star says, "Take care, Brick." Yeah, see y'all next time. And yeah, Ray. So Utama is the artist, and the artist is non-North American, but I don't know where he is. I mean, I will ask him sooner rather than later. Like I said, when we try to set up a video with him, it will be sort of very much dependent on sort of when we can arrange the timing. Brick and I, thankfully, are in the same time zone, so we really only have to line up, one other time zone to do the video for that. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I got. We've done an hour, and when I do these solo ones, I absolutely try to keep them to an hour because otherwise I would just go on forever. But because it is, in fact, if you weren't aware, Father's Day, I think I'm going to go hang out with my kids for a little bit. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you guys. As I said right off the top, if you need a last-minute gift, or just because you need a gift, eCollectables.ca does have gift cards. So go check them out. Or recommend somebody that go and get an eCollectables gift card for you, because it's a great way to get some more toys. People always say that I'm so hard to buy for, and it's because I pre-order everything, and all I really buy is toys. So when they ask, what do you want for Father's Day? What do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, well, I mean, you can pre-order something for me, or get me a gift card so that when the next pre-order comes out, I can get it for myself. But anyways, Bernie Lomax says tomorrow is his birthday. So somebody buy Bernie Lomax an eCollectables gift card. Anyways, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like. If you haven't subscribed already, I very much appreciate it when people do that as well. Hit the notification buttons if you want to see the other videos that I do. I've got a couple open late videos that I'm probably gonna do sooner rather than later. I might try to sneak one in this week, maybe even two, but I don't know which days they're gonna be. So like I said, hit that notification button so you don't miss it. We will be back again next Sunday. I've got a very, very special guest next Sunday. I'm very, very excited to have him on the show. I'm still a little bit in shock that he agreed to do it. Let me check my schedule just to confirm that this is in fact next week. And I didn't write it down, so it's not going to do me any good. Yes. Next week, June 25th, Jay from Geek Dad Life will be on the show. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm probably just going to fanboy out and just talk to him about, his show, his website, all the cool stuff that he does. But that should be a fun show. Hopefully you guys are all going to tune in for that one as well. Enjoy the rest of your Father's Day. Hopefully you can relax and hang out with your kids, play with some toys. We will see you all again next week. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.